Good evening, I'm Miss Beasley and I'm going to talk to you tonight about how you can prepare for your mock exams in English. At this point in Year 11, lots of students report to their teachers that they struggle to revise for English in particular. They say that they often use the same revision methods over and over again, or they struggle to focus during revision. So the purpose of this evening really is to identify useful strategies which can help you in your independent revision, essential not only for the mock exams but also for your GCSE examinations in the summer. There are a wealth of resources to support your English revision. You can revisit your class notes, use BBC Bitesize, or Mr. Brough is an excellent resource that you can use to support your English language revision. You can also purchase revision guides from the school. These are subsidised at a much lower price than what you can purchase from Amazon. These are currently on parent pay, and if you would like to buy the guides for language and literature, please speak to your English teachers. One of the main ways that you can revise for English is to use GCSE Pod. Lots of you are already familiar with this because it's where we set your homework. GCSE Pod includes pods which have been written by examiners. Following each pod, there are quiz-style questions used to support your recall of key quotations from the literature texts and also key contextual factors. You can use GCSE Pod on a computer, on your phone, or on any sort of device. If you use GCSE Pod effectively, research indicates that from this point to when you actually complete your GCSE exams, you can make up to 3 grades worth of progress by using GCSE Pod at least 3 times a week. If you are not yet activated on GCSE Pod, on the screen now is the website that you need to go to. You click New Here, Get Started, enter your details and the school's name, and your account then can be created where you can form your own username and password. If you are struggling to create an account for GCSE Pod, please do speak to your English teacher in the first instance, or you can come to me in the English office and I will help you to create this account. So for your mock exams in November, you are going to be completing an English language paper 1 and also an English literature paper 1. As you can see on the screen now, English language paper 1 consists of 5 questions. The first 4 questions focus on your reading and question 5 focuses on writing. The paper is equally weighted, meaning that the reading section is worth 50% of your final marks and the writing section is therefore also worth 50% of your GCSE. In class, you've been going over the key skills and the key knowledge that you need to know for each of these questions. Unlike literature, for language, the questions do not change. It is the text that changes. You will be given one extract from a fiction text, so from a story, and the questions will remain like those that are on the screen now. Your GCSE English Literature exam will be 1 hour and 45 minutes. This will consist of a question on Romeo and Juliet and a question on the 19th century novel. The novel that we are studying as a school is A Christmas Carol. In the exam, you will be given a booklet with questions on lots of different texts that you've not studied because the same booklet is used in schools across the country. Therefore, it is important that you only answer the question on Romeo and Juliet and you answer one question on A Christmas Carol. Do not answer questions on texts which you've not studied. As part of the literature exam, you'll be required to talk about Romeo and Juliet and A Christmas Carol. You will be given an extract from these texts in which you will have to identify the writer's methods that are used to create either a character or to explore a theme. It is important that you read the information that you are given before the extract because this information will give you an insight into where the extract has been taken from in the text. You then need to read the question very carefully. The question will either ask you to focus on a character or on a theme within the text. You can see on the screen now that I've included some success criteria. It's important in your answer that you refer to key quotations from the text. You need to explore the methods that have been used by either Shakespeare or Dickens, and you need to link your answer to contextual factors. You need to use the extract for the main body of your essay, but it is important that you also refer to elsewhere in the text in your answer. Do not only focus on the extract because you will be limiting your answer. From this slide, you can see that your question for A Christmas Carol will be worded exactly the same as a question for Romeo and Juliet. You need to start with the extract, look at the methods that Dickens uses in the extract, look at key quotations. How does this show us an insight into contextual factors in the Victorian era? But then you also need to link to elsewhere in the novella, thinking about Dickens's intentions. Therefore, it's important that you learn some key quotations both for A Christmas Carol and Romeo and Juliet to support your answers. On the screen now are some top tips from English examiners to help you to perform the best that you can in your English literature exam. It's important that you know the text really well. So therefore, as part of your revision, you can watch adaptations of the texts. You need to respond to the whole text and then dip in and out of the extract and then the whole text. You need to be confident with exploring large ideas and themes within these texts, and you also need to make sure that you are answering the question. Therefore, it is important that you take the time to read the question and understand what is being required of you. To support you with your revision, I have created a team in which you've all been invited. As part of this team, there are exam questions, knowledge organisers and model answers for both language and literature. Within the literature folder, there is also PDFs of all of the set texts. Therefore, if you want to familiarise yourself with the text again in readiness for the mocks, or you want to explore key quotations, this should be your first port of call. If you have any questions whatsoever, then please do email me. My email is on the screen now. Your English teachers will also be offering after-school revision sessions to help to support you to prepare for these exams. Thank you very much.